Hey Crashing Comprehenders, I wanted to give you a little YouTube video to show you how to add a set to Quizlet, because I know there's been some issues with some of the sets not being visible to everyone who's in the Crashing Comprehenders, so let me just sort of take you through that. When you log in to our class, this is what your screen is going to look like. You're going to go to the Create button to create a set. I suggest making the title of your set obviously the title of the book. So I'm going to pretend like I'm making a set on Chew on This. And I think it's good for the subjects possibly to put the author's name there so that we know who, it's good to remember who wrote the book. The key thing that you want to make sure you do is who is this visible to? Obviously we don't want it visible to everyone who's on Quizlet. We only want it visible to people who are Crashing Comprehenders. So you're going to click Certain Classes and then click Crashing Comprehenders. Now the same thing is true for editing. You want to make sure that other people in your class, that is to say in the Crashing Comprehenders, can also edit these questions. So it's important to make sure that these boxes are clicked that way to make sure that everyone has access to that. Choose your language, and then go in and add your questions. Now, the first question I'm going to add from Chew on This is who invented the hamburger? And when you add your question, it's really useful, I think, to make sure that you put the page number where the answer of the question is, so that if we need to, we can go back and check it, or someone can, so we know where in the book it is in case we do want to check it, or in case someone wants to read behind you. When was the hamburger invented? And we would say 1885. Again, on page 13. And you can just keep adding the questions. Where was the hamburger invented? Whoops. Hopefully your typing is better than mine. Wisconsin. It's often because you want to make sure that you do add the page numbers. I really recommend having the book in front of you or at your side while you're adding the questions so that you can ask detailed questions. The accelerated reading quizzes, in many ways, are really nothing like, of course, Reading Olympics questions, because they're much more general than the Reading Olympics questions. So, the more detailed you can get, the better, because as the competition goes on, especially, the question becomes more challenging and more detailed, which is not to say you should overlook the obvious questions. But once you do all that, create set, and there's your flashcards. So if you could all make sure that you've set up a set of questions before our next meeting on Wednesday, that would be terrific. And if you have any questions, just let any of us know. Happy reading!